Thank you. Please be seated. I was going to tell a chemistry joke this morning, but I didn't think I was going to get a reaction.
Well done, Naya. That's very apropos. There's a chem exam this morning, I think, isn't it? Good. All right, on this beautiful morning, we continue our week of recognition, gratitude, and celebration. So I'm going to start this morning with the athletic colours, and I'm going to ask Mr. Murdy to come forward, please. Thank you.
I'm glad I'm not writing chemistry. I had to ask what the joke meant back there. Good morning. It's been an incredibly successful year for sports here at Shawnigan. We've won championships in ice hockey, 7s and 15s rugby, and also in rowing. We've had top 6 provincial finishes in golf, tennis, squash, and basketball. So for a smaller school, these are all pretty amazing feats and something that we should all be very proud of. Today we're going to celebrate the individuals that make up those teams with the awarding of sport colors. So as we go through the term 3 sports, I'll call up the coaches of those teams to please come forward and join the headmaster for the presentation of these awards. We're going to start with girls rugby. Girls rugby is one of the few sports here at Shawnigan that has students right from grade 8 through to grade 12. So can I ask please Miss Russell and Mrs. Atkins to join me, and Miss Robb is away camping, I believe, with the grade 8s. As we go through these different teams, there are a number of junior-aged athletes that have already received their colors, so I'll just ask them to please stand and be recognized by your peer students. The first 4 girls that I'm going to mention here were nominated for girls rugby have already received their junior colors, so again, please stand. Berkeley Anderson, Sammy Lillywhite, Gracie McAllister, and Michaela Brennan McCann. Please stand up and receive your recognition. For those students that are actually receiving their colors this morning, whether they be junior or senior age students, please all come forward as I call you up, and we'll get one photo as a team after we've got everybody up here, please. Receiving their junior sport color pins are Sydney Hall, Chloe Story-Soth, Farah Fola Alade. Receiving senior sport colors, Toby Akinisoye, Jilly Barrett. Receiving double senior colors, Salam Gurmu, and receiving triple senior colors, Hazel Bice and Avery Champion. The next athletes to be recognized are members of the junior boys rugby team, so could please coaches Mr. Monroe and Mr. Plater join us up front. Well done, boys. The first 4 students have already received their colors, so can they please stand and be recognized? Aiden Teaganson, Noah Leibel, John Little, and Gareth Cooper. Receiving their junior color pins are Malcolm Shields, Kyle Billy, Isaac Hokinson, Nico Falcone, Jamin Hodgkins, Will Mann, Graham Norris, Dylan Chandri, Imran Karmali, Geronimo Vera, Julio Sargi Ape. The next team to be recognized is going to be the senior boys rugby team. So can Mr. Williams and Mr. Doyle please join myself and the headmaster up front. Receiving their senior athletic colors ties are Nolan Young, Kyle McCallum, Dean Mason, Carter Miller, Reese Tudor-Jones, Jack Shaw, James McDonald, Owen Cumming, and Quinn Hayhurst. Receiving double senior colors are Charlie Wolf, Dawson Anderson, Guy Saladamelo Costa, and receiving triple senior colors is Ben Curley. The next sport to be recognized is tennis, so Mr. Picken, please come up and join us. Oh, there he is. We've got a few awards to go through here for tennis after the colors presentations. Receiving their junior color pins are Roberta Gonzalez and Ann Edler. Receiving their senior athletic color ties are Leah Sharon Duhamel, Kale Hong, and Nadal Hossical. Receiving double senior colors is Colin Wong. Roberta and Nadal, stay up here, please. Thank you. Embarrass you for a little bit here. Also, while we have Mr. Picken and a few of the students up here, we're going to present our internal tennis championship trophies. You had to win that last match. Sorry. Should have worked harder in my HP class. We're going to start with, since we have these two fine young students here, we're going to start with the newly named Candelaria Trophy, which is for mixed doubles, which was won by Roberta Gonzalez and Nadal Hossical. You don't get that. Sorry. Our ladies singles champion is Janie Zhang, and the Grogan Cup for the men's single championship, unfortunately is not here, goes to Mr. Picken's son, Reed Picken. Oh, neither of them here. So let's get a photo of Mr. Picken with both trophies. Okay, thank you. So lots of junior age students there, so the future looks bright for the tennis program. Golf, on to golf. So if we can ask Mr. Hidlay to please join us up front. The temptation to go through some Hidlay impersonations right now is almost too much. We have one junior athlete being recognized, but he's already received his junior athletic pin earlier in the year, so if he could please stand and be recognized, and that's Nick Winchester. Receiving his double senior athletics color tie, Ryan Novakoski. You stay up here, please, Ryan. Also, while we have Ryan and Mr. Heidley on stage, we're going to present the internal golf championship, which is called the Goody Cup. Ryan shot a score of 73 in a very tight and competitive round with 6 players all shooting under 80 on the day, so it was quite an accomplishment. The winner of the Goody Cup, Ryan Novakoski. We'll now start with girls soccer, and Mr. Zaks is away, but if Mr. Fraser and Mr. Sturrock could please join me for the junior soccer team. The first 2 young ladies to be mentioned here have already received their junior color pins, so if they could please stand and be recognized. Brooke Beckingham and Nicole Cherry. Receiving their junior color pins as members of the junior team, Melanie Bristol, Katie Petropoulos, and Bridget Person. We're now going to do the senior girls soccer team, so if Mr. Nakagawa and Mr. Manson Blair could please join us up front, along with Mr. Sturrock. Bless you. Again, we've got 3 students who have already received their junior colors, so if they could please stand to be recognized. Lucia Bicknell, Sophie Miranda, and Chloe Story-Soth. Please stand and be recognized. Receiving her junior color pin as a member of the senior team, Lauren Lubarski. Receiving senior colors, Caitlin Kalal, Danica Serbic, Lillian Spiegel. Receiving double senior colors, Maya Charleston. And receiving triple senior colors, Anna Williams and Naya Miranda. Finally, the last sport to be recognized is rowing. Can Mr. Maddock, Mrs. Platt, Ms. Montgomery, and Mr. Bowman please join me up front? We'll start with juniors, and again, there's 2 students who have previously been recognized and received their junior colors, so if they could please stand and be recognized again this morning for this nomination. Nicole Lavin and Michaela Brennan McCann. Receiving junior color pins for rowing, Olivia Brigden, Georgia Hall, Kylie Kim, Candice Liu, Selena Lee, Maya Vanderhyde, Alexi Fulton, Owen Bramley, Sam Addison, Dryden Fontana, and Ryan McKay. Receiving senior colors, Claudia Norris, Hannah Narroway, Naoka Bales, Maddie Canyon, Ben Heck, Dylan Anandel, Marcus Tasinde, and receiving triple colors, Ivy Sang. So that concludes our color presentations, but if I can just ask you for one last recognition, and that's for all of your coaches for all their time and efforts with you during this term 3. So if you can all join me in thanking them.
Of course, another opportunity, and I don't want to miss it, to say thank you to Mr. Murdy for all his passion, energy, and leadership that he brings to that whole part of the school. Murdy, thank you. I'm going to call Mrs. Milne forward now to the lectern. Thank you.
Good morning. It gives me great pleasure this morning to present the final round of academic colors for the 2017-18 school year. As I've mentioned in the past few months, academic colors are awarded to students who consistently demonstrate superior effort, achievement, and leadership in their studies, while also maintaining a commitment to the many other facets of the Shawnigan program. Showing genuine interest, working to potential, and supporting classmates must be integral to the recipient's approach. Generally, students have studied at the school for more than 1 year. Senior colors are only awarded to grade 12 students, and consideration is given to their performance in grades 11 and 12, and junior colors are awarded to grade 10 students. Recipients must consistently be on the headmaster's honor roll and the dean's dinner list to receive this and receive the support of their teachers. I want to congratulate all of those who received colors earlier this year, and I would like to invite the headmaster forward to present senior academic colors to Swan Dickey, Barbara Hidley, and Julia Souza. On Friday afternoon, we will take the hallway photo for all the year's senior academic colors recipients, so if you could meet in the main gardens at 1:30 with your ties, that would be appreciated. For junior academic colors, I'd ask the headmaster to present pins to the following: Lucia Bicknell, Milena Jojic, Nicole Cherry, Imran Karmali, Farah Fola Alade, Chloe Storizoth, and Kathleen Heidley.
Congratulations. There you go.
Before I leave the podium, I'd like you to join me in thanking all of your teachers for all the hard work they have done with you in your academics this year.
She said to me, "You don't have to thank me. You have a zillion times already. A zillion and one." Let's thank Mrs. Milne for her incredible efforts in this area. Thank you. Now I'm going to invite a young exchange student to come and say goodbye to you. Tara Cooper, are you here? Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Tara, but most of you know me as Coops' cousin. Leaving the place I have known as home for my entire life, sunny South Africa, was a challenge of itself. But saying goodbye to my friends, family, and comfort zone to fly halfway around the world to a very unfamiliar place was certainly the most challenging part. My nerves quickly eased as a welcoming party consisting of my cousin, Georgia, and 2 roommates, who are now more like family, Samly and Belle, came eagerly down the steps of Groves. This is where my experience here started, being met with love and excitement. I know it's cheesy to say, but I have made lifelong memories and friends. From days at the docks and comparing tans to movie nights and pizza, this experience is something I will cherish forever. To Mrs. Cholak, thank you for being like a second mother to me and making me feel like one of the true Groves girls. And to all of the duty staff for making this feel like a home away from home, quoted by Sammy. To Mr. Robertson, I know you said you've had enough thanks to last your lifetime, but once again, it was you who opened up the doors of your school to let me have this experience, so thank you. And to Mr. Samuel, it was you who made this all possible. From the back and forth emailing, it is you who works tirelessly behind the scenes to bring all exchanges to Shawnigan, so thank you. Leaving 3 brothers at home, I had no idea what it would be like living with 68 girls. But I quickly discovered how badly I wanted a sister to steal clothes from, thanks Val, and to hug and comfort me, Georgia. Even amongst all the screams from spiders, there are no other girls I would rather have as sisters, so thank you, Groves. Lastly, for those of you who have considered doing an exchange, do it. And for those of you who haven't, consider it. Thank you.
Well done, Tara. That was lovely. Thank you. So, I don't have my watch on, but anyway, a couple of words from me just to close off. Maybe a little bit more serious than I would want to be right now, but you just have to bear with me. So, I want to talk about this week, the rest of this week, and in particular about the last couple of nights of school. But before I do that, I want to go right to the very end. So the end goal is that we will have ceremonies on Saturday and a day on Saturday that will be just outstanding, memorable. We've been working a formula for quite a while now that really does work, and it produces powerful ceremonies that are full of sentiment and emotion, and that give the various people that participate the chance to lock away good memories for life. That's the end goal out there in our beautiful gardens. The chapel, the last chapel service, the grad chapel, is a part of that. The luncheon down at the head's house, the closing ceremonies in the gardens. So that's our finish line, people. And at the risk of sounding like a worn-out record, we need to get there intact. We do. How do we get there? Well, we keep our eyes firmly fixed on our commitment to respect. Respect is not something you switch on and switch off. Respect is a constant. And if it's a culture of respect, like Shawnigan, then it's on all the time. And it's at times like this that it has to be on. Now, in terms of specifics, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the way you approach our expectations, our rules regarding behavior, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, curfews, staying in the house, all those things that we create this safe and wholesome community based on throughout the year are even more important now, this week, in these last few nights. Because at the risk of painting a dismal picture, the finish line, the scene that I've described on Saturday, changes dramatically. Because suddenly you're involved with decisions about whether somebody's going to be allowed to take part in the ceremony. Their parents and their grandparents are on their way. But you know what? They've messed up and they've let themselves down, they've let us down, so they can't take part in our closing ceremony. These are real situations that in my 25 years, fortunately, only very occasionally, I've had to deal with. So let's get into that situation. Focus on the finish line, focus on the way that day is going to unfold, and just make it happen the way it should happen. I am definitely not looking for anything that would resemble a gift, because I've had so many gifts. But if you do want the best gift that you could possibly give Mr. Robertson, is to have an outstanding, seamless end to my last closing day. So that's all I want. So a bit like only wanting your 2 front teeth for Christmas. That's all I want. So let's see if we can do that, people. Thank you.